Hello, and welcome to Every Day is Funny, the meditative morning show about newspaper comics. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You know, it's not just Father's Day. This is the season of dads and grads. Which, by the way, in the eternal struggle between dads v grads, I'd like to put a line in the sand, stick a flag on the moon. I am firmly on the side of the dads. I do think this is a situation we need to monitor, because all these wars going on, but the real war is happening right under our noses. And I think that war will come soon, and it will be fought with dads against grads. And you gotta pick a side. We will all be forced to choose a side when judgment comes. And obviously, being a podcast about newspaper comics, my demographic is not quite the grads. I gotta go older school with the dads. But this is a battle happening under our noses, and you have to choose. And anybody siding with the grads in this war, just shut this podcast off now. It's not for you. I don't want you as a listener. But I do want to give an ode to the dads. I want to give an ode to the cartoon dads, because they have it the hardest, I think. Think about all these cartoon dads that we read about in these newspaper comics. They are struggling with some rebel rousers for children, and they never really get their due respect. And their kids have better quips than them sometimes. It's gotta be tough to be a cartoon comic dad, especially because you are stuck in this timeline of having to raise these children. And these people don't age. Authors never draw these cartoon comics with dads or any family member that age. So they are just stuck in the eternal cycle of raising these children at probably the most difficult time to be raising a child. And they will never get out of it. Empty nest will never be a problem for them. So we gotta give a shout out to them, because they'll be doing this till infinity, or until publication ceases. So I feel for you, cartoon dads. I mean, Dennis the Menace's dad. Think about it. His whole existence is to serve a menace. He's not the titular character of that strip. He is periphery. He is auxiliary. His only reason to exist is to get stressed out by Dennis's menaces. And that just sucks. So a shout out to all the cartoon dads out there. We hear you, we see you, and I'm sorry you have to exist the way you do. All right, let's get to the comics. All right, Hi and Lois. Maybe this will be a nice celebration of Hi today. All right, we see Hi and Lois sleeping in bed. He wakes up, upset. No breakfast in bed? No handmade cards? No golf gifts? Lois says, the kids celebrated Parents' Day on Mother's Day, remember? He gets out of bed and says, I want my own day back next year. See, this is what I'm saying. We gotta give these cartoon dads a shout out, because he is looking dejected. He is looking like, what am I doing this for? Also, what the heck? They're celebrating Parents' Day on Mother's Day? No, that just means you're celebrating Mother's Day. What did he get on Parents' Day? Because even if you make this family plan, it's cool to have like a unique family tradition that only your family does. That's cool, that'll bring you closer. But you gotta know on Parents' Day, if you're putting it on Mother's Day, there's gonna be a lean towards mom on that day. There's no way that's a 50-50 split. You try and act equal about it, but we all know the kids had a leaning towards the mom. So it is a shame. He should get his day back. Because imagine, the panel stops here. But imagine what the rest of this day is going to be like for him. it's not going to be good. He's going to feel ignored. He's going to want to leave the family. I know that's harsh, but I think I know this guy by now. I'm reading these comics every day. He's going to want to get up and leave. All right, let's move on. That's not the vibe I want for this Father's Day. It's not what I'm trying to exude. I'm talking about war. I'm talking about dads leaving. Good Christ. Let's take a look at Blondie. We see Blondie and Dagwood just doing their own separate things in separate chairs. I gotta be honest, this is a very strange layout for a panel and for a couple to just coexist in. But I'll talk about that later. They're hanging out, she's on her iPad. He's just kind of sitting there with glee. Finally, Blondie says, "Honey, are you smiling because today is Father's Day?" He says, "Ha, sometimes the boss tells me he likes to think of himself as a father figure to me. Can you imagine having Julius Dithers as your father-in-law? Ha, the more I think about it, the crazier it sounds." Then he just really freaks out and has kind of a laughing breakdown, saying your name would be Blondie Dithers. He falls to the floor laughing. He'd probably even drop by expecting a Father's Day gift. Ha, that would be the day. And then we see his boss approaching their door, as if that was what is actually happening. Man, this is odd. There's a lot strange about this. But really, I do want to start with the layout of their home. If you're not looking at the strip, I highly advise you take a look at this chair layout. Why are they... I don't know what this feng shui is, but it's... I thought of a joke just now. It's feng shit. Maybe I'll cut that out, but I think that's pretty funny. Anyway, Blondie is not looking at him. That chair is just completely turned away. And I would get it in terms of like framing if there was a purpose, but I don't see why they couldn't just aim the chairs toward each other in the frame. It does nothing for the storytelling. So that's odd. Then his breakdown. I know it's all leading to this joke at the end where the boss is arriving home, which is a weird kind of punchline. Because why is he just dropping by on Father's Day? Even if he thinks of himself as a father figure, he's not going to call ahead. They don't have that kind of relationship. Very odd. But the laughing breakdown, I think Blondie has the right reaction in her face. She's kind of like, I'm witnessing a man coming apart at the seams here. Like, she even kind of goes back to her iPad. There's a moment where she checks on him and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? And then in the second to last frame, she's just like, you know what? He's gonna lose his mind. I might as well just go back to my digital life because my real world existence is not strong. I'm with the wrong guy. This poor boss, too. All right, we don't have to harp on this too long. Let's get to Rex Morgan, MD. All right, yesterday, the teacher was escorting Parker away from the bully situation and trying to comfort him. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, they're still walking through the most deserted school hallway I've ever seen in my life. Mr. Dawson says, you aren't really pals with that other student, are you? Parker says, astute observation, Mr. Dawson. Just a bully looking to cause trouble. Headline, Glenwood Middle School. Mr. Dawson stops a fight from happening. Why are they saying that now? Why didn't they say that at the top? All right, whatever, I'll keep going. Mr. Dawson says, I'll report this later. For now, let's just get you to class. Parker says, thanks for checking on me. That kid wasn't going to let me go without a fight. New headline. The bully gets a lecture from the vice principal, but that doesn't stop him from tormenting Parker at every opportunity. Then we see the bully again going after Parker, I guess on a different day. He says, watch your back, weirdo. I got my eye on you. Slaps him. Then another situation, at lunch the next day. See you in the hallway later, pudgy Parker. Corey steps in to say, what's your deal? Will you just leave Parker alone? He says, nah, don't think so. Corey says, why don't you pick on me instead? Or do you only bully kids smaller than you? The bully says, nice of your nerd friends to stick up for you, Tubbo, but you won't always have your friends around. This is crazy. Now, the main reason this is crazy, it's not crazy because we don't get a Father's Day mention. I thought maybe we would work something in there. Maybe Mr. Dawson would say, I'm sorry you've been dealing with that bully. By the way, I'm a dad. Just throw a non sequitur kind of line in there. Didn't happen, that's fine. What's really interesting, though, is that for this comic strip, typically it takes 2 weeks to get through the slightest, smallest conversation. And now we are jumping timelines like we're in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We are cutting to different days, different bullying situations. This is truly unheard of in the Rex Morgan universe. I'm quite stunned, actually. But to the point of the bully, what is going on with this guy? Does, Parker look like his dad who left the family? Why is he so insistent on bullying this kid? Even after he got a talking to. I understand that a talking to probably isn't going to dissuade many bullies, but this is crazy. It doesn't seem like he's going to let up. Something has to come to a head. The bully's got to be suspended. Parker's got to fight back. The author is truly setting the scene that this is just the beginning. And honestly, I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. Let me think of what to comment. All right, I'm going to leave a comment referencing this part that we didn't see. I'm going to say, what we didn't see is the vice principal's lecture to the bully. They actually advised him to bully Parker more. Because it's true, he's still just going for it. What did the vice principal say to the bully? I feel like it just egged him on. Send. All right, time to wind down for this Sunday, June 16th. Again, happy Father's Day to the real and the fake fathers of the universe. I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend. And remember, every day is funny.